all these things give me a kind of a gut feeling that we are in a period of, not of that I have a specific threat, that I have in mind right now, but that we are entering a period of increased vulnerability.
All right, Head of Homeland Security had a gut feeling, and terrorist chatter is up. Are we in for an attack? Should you be saying gut feeling? Joining us now is Chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, Bennie Thompson, and Ranking Member Peter King. Welcome to both of you. You guys see a lot of the same intelligence as the Homeland Security Secretary. Congressman Thompson, could you answer me right now? Do you have a gut feeling, and should we be using that term, gut feeling?
Well, I think it's an inappropriate term. We don't have an alert level for gut feeling. We spend billions of dollars on intelligence. We train people. We've done this for the last 5 years, and never have I heard this terminology before.
What's the downside, Congressman King, if there is any, to using that term?
Brian, I don't think there is. What the Secretary was doing was talking in layman's language. The fact is, Chairman Thompson and I have been briefed over the last month. There's no doubt there is increased chatter. There is increased activity out there, but there are no specific threats. And based on all of this and past experience, people in the intelligence community have a concern. But since there is no specific threat, there's no threat level being raised. Having said that, the Secretary was trying to say, based on what we know now, based on what we've seen in the past, we are concerned. So he used the term gut level. To me, I don't see what's wrong with that, especially when viewed in the entire context of what he said. Also in view of the fact that, for instance, Chairman Thompson and I are briefed on this, and we know what he means by it.
Yeah, we're going to have you back to comment because Secretary Chertoff is going to be joining us in about 4 minutes. Congressman Thompson, when you look at your intelligence that you can share or you can't share with all of it with us, but do you agree that the chatter is as high and Al-Qaeda is as grave a threat as they were 5 years ago?
Well, I have to take what the Secretary says today, that he had no credible threats out there in his estimation. So whatever he's using, I look forward to what he says today. But at the time he made the statement, he also clarified by saying that he had no actionable intelligence that said the threat level or anything should be raised.
Congressman King, your inbox, is it more filled with chatter these days?
Well, basically, I get the same intelligence that Chairman Thompson does, and there is no doubt there is more activity there as far as what we're seeing from Al-Qaeda and what we're picking up. And having said that, there are no specific threats. This could mean something or it could not, and that's the type of war we're engaged in. We have to take every one of these instances very seriously. But again, I think what the Secretary was doing was saying that we have to be alert, we have to be vigilant, and that's been passed on to local and state police departments. And the fact that there is no specific threat, there was no specific threat against the British 2 weeks ago either, and yet they got hit twice. So really it's saying, let's say,
right,
we're engaged in a very, very tough war with Islamic terrorism, and we can never let our guard down.
But something's changing now, and that's what Americans are getting the sense of, that the threat is all going up, the colors aren't changing. Congressman Thompson and King, would you please stay with us for a short while, and let's listen together as we talk to the Secretary, Michael Chertoff, live here, and then get your reaction. You're watching Fox and Friends. And also let me remind you on a lighter note, Harry Potter, cast and spell at the movies? No.
All right.
All right, rejoining us right now is the Chairman of Homeland Security, Bennie Thompson, and the Ranking Member, Peter King. Congressman, what have you picked up from that, Congressman King?
Basically, I think we've known this all along. Certainly for the last several months, we've known that Al-Qaeda is reconstituting itself. And we also know there are constant threats against the U.S., but no specific threats. I mean, Al-Qaeda is out to kill us. They're out to kill places like New York. This is an ongoing war, which is why we need the Patriot Act, why we need electronic surveillance, why we need CIA interrogations, why we need to encourage local police departments like the NYPD to be proactive and to think outside the box. This is a long, vicious war we're going to be involved in.
But I could have talked to you 5 years ago, and we probably have, and I could probably pull up a similar quote as I could the last Congressman Thompson before. And Congressman Thompson, here's the bigger picture question, is what's going to change? People are getting fatigued by this. We always feel like there's increased level of threat, and a year ago we heard we had Al-Qaeda on the run. What happened?
Well, I think you have to be careful with the words you choose. What we heard from the Secretary was not a good choice of words. I think we have to test our systems, and we do every day. We've spent billions of dollars trying to make sure that we're safe, and we've been successful. But I think in the pursuit of keeping the homeland safe, we shouldn't unnecessarily alarm the public. We don't have credible evidence at this point. We do open source information every day. We're working on it. We're doing a good job. But our number one person ought to be very careful at the words that he chooses in describing the dangers that we face.
And I guess finally, Congressman King, to you, I personally have no problem because I understand that type of vernacular when people say, hey, I have a gut feeling about this. But in the big picture, when we find out the headline was Bin Laden determined to attack the United States, that was the summer of 2001. Now your headline is Al-Qaeda more capable of attacking the West. What